Going into this, we knew that these were going to be some of the most memorable shows of our lives. A handful of these countries have always been these, hopeful locations that just hadn't happened yet. Like when you've been a band as long as we have, you start to feel like so many things are routine. You never take for granted, getting to go to Europe a couple times a year, getting to, play in New York and LA and all these wonderful cities, but to still have this frontier out there of places you haven't had a chance to experience. And also with that, knowing that it's gonna be this really special thing, it just makes the whole thing so much more worthwhile. But going into it, we just knew that we were really in for something special. We didn't have a clear picture really of like what we were gonna be doing every day or like what was to be expected. You're just excited and you're putting your trust in the people who are running it. And in the past we've played one time in Guadalajara, Mexico City, and Sao Paulo one time, but it had been a number of years for most of those. Playing in like Brazil just seemed, even the first time we were like, what, it feels so far away. And it didn't, at least at the time to us, coming from like punk and hardcore, it didn't seem like a place that bands frequented. And it's cool that as time has gone on, it does seem like it has become more of a staple, and I hope that that continues, because it really is special.
Hey, check! Want the presenter? Check, check, hey! Check 1, 2, hey!
Like a ball
we didn't really find out until maybe just before how grueling the travel schedule was going to be. So just about every single day was, play the show, usually set time around 9:30, 10 o'clock. And, if you do this for a lifestyle, that means you're not leaving the venue to get to wherever you're going to stay until 12:30, 1 a.m. So then to come to find out that it's like, oh yeah, no, and you have to be up for the airport at 4 or 5, you start to look at how that's going to be every day. It's hard not to have that weigh on you a little bit. It's interesting though, because then, you play the show and you're like, well, this was the most incredible show ever. It made it a really interesting game of mental gymnastics when it came to how tired you were, how desperately you needed to sleep, while you were also being met with the most incredible crowds we've maybe ever played for. I don't know that we've ever there was bootleg merch for our band. And to see bootleg merch was such a trip. Also really sweet gifts that were given to us night after night, whether it was like, these cartoon drawn stickers, or, someone made a doll of me, which was really sweet, or like patches that have certain song lyrics on them. Or, there was just so many sweet and thoughtful things, or people wanting to give us their music, their records. And everybody was so kind and respectful and sweet, and had such, cool things to say or stories to tell, which really made it just as special of an experience as actually playing the show.
Check.
Yeah, that's good.
I would say that it was another reminder that loss is universal, love is universal, and no matter which, part of this blue earth that we're on, everybody has these same experiences. And there's a comfort in knowing that you're not singular. There's a comfort in knowing you're not unique, as much as your situation might make you feel desperately unique. That universal truth, or that universal looking for something to relate to, is there's a comfort in that. And you have those conversations and you're like, yep, we're all just not alone in all of these experiences.